Call 219. We haven't really talked about a ton of gun stuff here lately. A lot of stuff circulating in the news, but I figured let's throw one of these videos up here. So what I have in front of me is a Bulgarian Makarov. It shoots 9x18. Let's check it and make sure it's safe. It has a heel release on the bottom. Look at that. See, it had bullets in there. Let's pull it back and take a peek and see if there's anything in there. Put my finger in there. No. Put it in there a little bit more. No. So here it is, the Bulgarian Makarov. Chambered in 9x18. Single double action. Does have a decocker, as you can see there. These guns were really popular way back in the day, before all of this stuff in the world started happening. You can find these things for around $200, $250 if you're lucky, back in the day. And it was a good piece to store away for a rainy day. Now, what I did with my Makarov is when the ammo crunch started and it was really hard to get a hold of calibers, I shot this. 9x18, the Makarov round was readily available. I mean, it was more available than any other caliber, whether it be 9mm, 380, 357, so on and so forth. So I would shoot this Makarov. I also have a Polish P64 version of the Makarov firearm, which I also shot. Now that one put a little bit of hurting on the hand at times, shooting enough rounds through it. But this one's a little bit smoother. It's a little bit bigger. It's a little bit smoother. It has original Bakelite grips on there, as you can see. Lanyard loop. And then I bought this one long time ago when we were on vacation down in southern Indiana, down by the Madison area. And I visited a gun shop there. I did some research to see what gun shops I wanted to go to. And I went and visited a gun shop down there. And this was there. After I had asked if he had one, because I saw 9x18 on his shelf. And it wasn't a bad price. It was like $22 for some hollow points. So I was like, we'll pick those up. You never know. You never know in this life when you're going to need 9x18 hollow points. And then I asked him, do you have a Makarov? And he did. I paid way over price of yesteryear's prices for this gun. I paid about $500. $490 and some change. So it even out to about $500. So wasn't a great deal. But again, you're not going to be able to find surplus stuff as readily available as you used to. It's just almost non-existent. And when you do find it, it's outrageous. If you haven't watched Night Strike's channel, I encourage you to go over there and look at his gun show review that he went to. SKS is $1,000. When I went to Wanamaker, same deal, $800, $900 for those guns as well. Makarovs, they were hovering around the $550 mark. So surplus has really gained interest, but it's also gained in just the importation problems that we see going on. And now you have some Russian ammunition that's going to be banned after their current contracts are up for importation. So you're seeing a lot more and more of this stuff go up in value. Now, yes, I have shot about, close to 200 rounds out of this gun and never had a single malfunction. To be specific, we went to a shoot at my old boss's house, and he had a bunch of guns there, and a couple of those handguns were malfunctioning here and there. This old Betty, smooth as butter. No malfunctions at all. At that time, I only had one magazine for it, so it's kind of a pain. I went to a gun show before I left to go to Tulsa the last time I went to the Wanamaker's gun show, and I had an old man that had one of these magazines. These aren't cheap online, these Makarov magazines. They're just, I haven't found a deal. If you found a deal, let me know through an email or something about what the dealio is. But I found a magazine. He wanted like $50 for the thing, 45, 50 bucks or 60 bucks or something outrageous for it. Well, you'll never find another one. That's what he kept on telling me. So I walked around the show. I'm like, I didn't find another one. And then I'm thinking to myself, you know, if I go down to Wanamaker, I bet you I'll find one if I don't pick this guy's stuff up. So I go back over there, do a little bit of haggling with him, and I tell him, look, man, I'm like, I'm here, I'm ready to buy. If you give me a decent price on this magazine, hey, man, we can be kind of coexistent here. I said, I am going to the world's largest gun show, and I know that's in a couple of weeks, but I know I can find one down there for probably a better price than you're giving me. So I laid the cash out. I said, I got here, $40, man, $40 for the mag. Oh, he kind of rumbled. And he was just stuck on the $60 price for some reason for a magazine, like he was sitting on gold. Finally, he took it, so I actually do have 2 magazines for this firearm now. So when I go to another shoot, or if I go to the range during another ammo scarce, because I bought a lot of 9x18. I bought about 1,000 rounds of it. And every so often, I'll go into my local gun shop. This week, they only had Tokarev. So that's where I get my military surplus ammunition. Plus, I have that M95 Steyr in there, too. And the local gun shop owner said she could probably swing a couple of boxes whenever I need them. Now, I haven't shot that gun yet, but I've seen videos of people shooting that gun, and I don't know if I want to shoot it for shits and giggles, as I say. I just don't think I will. But this gun, it has its marks. I don't know if you can see them. I can get up there. It's got its marks on there. I'll read them off to you. Makarov, made in Bulgaria, caliber 9x18. CAI, that's their imports. Georgia. There you can see their little insignia there with the serial numbers pounded into the firearm. Good little gun for the most part. I've never had any problems out of it, and I've never had any problems with my P64 as well. You know, sometimes they just don't make things like they used to do, where they took the time to put, you know, steel parts in a gun. And, you know, now guns are more polymer than ever, or have more kind of different kind of materials in them. But these old Bettys, man, you can't beat them when you find them. Now, unfortunately, you're probably not going to be paying an outrageous price for anything surplus nowadays. But this one's pretty cool. And when I bought it, somebody had flared out, if you can see it, the front sight post on there so you could pick it up. I shot it, and I was like, well, that's pretty good improvement instead of just looking down the sights, because the sights are nothing to write home about, folks. Pretty normal for back in the day stuff. So original Bakelite grips, a lot of cool stuff about this firearm, and finding it randomly down in southern Indiana was even cooler. So I just wanted to show you this old Bulgarian Makarov that I still have it. This is a gun I'll probably never part with, just because of the value it's going to hold, first of all. And second of all, I've always wanted a Makarov. I've always had that P64. I was like, but I want a Bulgarian version. I really like a Russian version, but those are even harder to find. So I'm going to have to be content with this one. Maybe an East German when it comes back. I know Jay Monty had one, and I kind of strung him out there because I just did not have the money to pick it up from him. But that just goes to show you, you might run into these things once in a while, and I believe it's a pretty good investment. If you look at all the times that we struggle to find ammunition for our Glocks, our CZs, our Smith & Wesson Shields and all that jazz, I was readily shooting this gun, and I had no problem finding ammo. At one point, I went through a box and went back the next day and still picked another box up on the shelf. So I look at these kind of calibers, these funky ones, the 9x18s, and the Tokarev stuff that floats about, is you should look into it, invest into it a little bit. I'm not saying go all crazy out like I did, buying 1,000 rounds of this stuff, but when we come upon these crunches in ammo time, and you just cannot find stuff, or you're just not willing to pay the price for whatever caliber it is, sometimes these old guns, they will come in handy, and they'll keep you shooting. They'll keep the recoil impulse about you, and they'll keep you shooting and probably honing in your skills while everybody else is just scrambling around looking for 9mm. I have a ton of 9mm, but I didn't have the urge to shoot it, because I knew I had this stuff. Why am I going to shoot that when possibly I could sell a box off for about 20 bucks, you know, or 10 or 15 bucks, you know what I'm saying? And just get a little bit of pocket change, especially if I needed to eat something or, you know, pay a bill or something. I can just, you know, get rid of a box of 9mm, and I'd still have some good Makarov ammo to still, you know, hone my shooting skills with. One of these days, I'm going through some stuff. We're about to move here in a couple of months, and I just haven't been able to get to the range like I used to. I know for some people it's not a big deal. For other people, you know, they want to see some guns being fired. It's not in the cards right now. But maybe here down the road, when we all get done and settled, and hopefully the new place will give us a little bit of freedom to shoot a lot more than out here, we'll get back into shooting this old gem. I think it's a relic. I think you should look at it. The trigger pull kind of sucks on it, but what do you expect from an old gun like that? But it's still enjoyable to shoot. Ammo's sometimes readily available. I don't know how it is in your area. In my area, I can find it. I don't know about you guys. But I just wanted to show you guys the old Bulgarian is still here. She's still clean. She's still looking nice. And she'll go back in the safe. And hopefully that one day we'll go out there and we'll probably put about 4 or 5 magazines through her. See how she's doing in functionality-wise. And then I'll do a breakdown video of this gun here in the future, because it's a little tricky to break it down and clean it up, but it's nothing too, you know, dramatic. Unlike, you know, what we see today in the Polymer Wonders, where it's a couple of tabs and a pull of the trigger and you're done. This one's a tad bit different if you want to get deep down in there and clean her out real good. So I just wanted to show you my Bulgarian Makarov, that I still have it. Hopefully here in the future we'll get back to shooting, back to hitting targets and seeing how guns function, and maybe get back into buying guns. Guns haven't really, you know, tickled my fancy here lately. It seems to be the old, you know, the Wonder 9s, the Pocket 9s, or whatever you want to call it, the Micro 9s. And, you know, how many Micro 9s do you need in your life? You know, I like these old things. So I'm going to be looking for some other old guns to, you know, kind of put into the collection, and we'll go through some of those. It's just one of those things where I enjoy shooting these old guns, and they hold up. So I hope you enjoyed a little bit look back at the old Makarov. Again, you're not probably going to pay what we did way back in the day, and you'll have to pay a little bit more, but I think it's clutch to have something like this around for the next huge ammo scare that we get. So I'd like to thank all my old and my new subscribers and just the people that zip through. I greatly appreciate it. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Use the comment section. That's what it's there for. If you have one, do you like it? Do you don't like it? Did you sell it, or do you still have it? And like always, we'll catch you guys on the next one.